Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Sorry that we kind of went live and then went off live, but we're actually starting now. Welcome to today's episode. A couple of announcements before we get started off. Obviously, we haven't had a whole lot of YouTube stuff coming out, except the VODs for these streams actually go up on YouTube on Sundays, so make sure you check out those. Link for the YouTube is, or there's the links for the YouTube are all up there and all that fun stuff. We'll bring it back over here to everyone else. But like I said, a lot of great stuff coming on for the channel. We got those VODs. We'll have some more of those narrated kind of how-to videos and all that kind of stuff coming out soon. We also have a dice giveaway at the break, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And we are in the process of formulating some merch, so be on the lookout for that. But everyone say hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, guys.
Last we left off, we're just going to jump right into it. Last we left off, our adventurers met each other, as it were, at the Full Bears pub. There, they luckily had been able to spend the night thanks to a various number of different tasks that they completed as part of their payment for their evening night stay. Because of this, they all were allowed to stay, and in the following morning, they ended up sitting at a table not too far from each other. They were approached by the bartender, Roburn, and actually presented with a plight that was actually giving some issues for the town. Some lumberjacks have gone missing, and they're not really sure why. After some interesting encounters with the wife of one of the lumberjacks and some wild accusations throwing around at the man, Henry, that was her husband, you guys decided to actually go out and actually discern what happened to this Henry. On your way to the lumberyard, which is the next kind of place that you thought to look, you were attacked by some strange fanged, wolf-like looking humanoid creature. And you were able to defeat this creature thanks to Juliet's use of her hellish rebuke. However, as a result, this creature, when it actually transformed back into its normal human form, it was beyond recognition. With this, you guys wrapped that thing up, made your way back to the lumberyard. Upon getting there, you actually were able to talk to the head axe there, who basically gave you the general gist of the fact that a number of these guys have been going missing rather rapidly in the past few days, and most of them seem to be related to individuals who worked at site number 5. With a map in hand for these different sites that these lumberjacks were actually harvesting these trees, you made your way out there. Along the way, Juliet met a old friend from her backstory. She actually encountered a banshee that had been accosting her prior to the start of our adventure here. You all were able to defeat this banshee and had some interesting interactions after that, including learning about the bird that lives in Timmick's beard, also known now, well, was just known as Bird, but now it is known as Dale. He's really cool, guys. But you guys met Dale, and you guys continue to move on to your eventual end goal of reaching site number 5. On your way there, you did arrive. However, little did you know that you were being watched by 3 more of these wolf humanoid creatures. And with that said, I'm going to need everyone to roll initiative right off the bat here, guys. So,
Man, right into it.
I will be bringing everybody over there in just 1 second once I can get everything set up on this side. Which is always fun to figure everything out while I'm going. Activate. And, yep, everyone's pushed. Good. So these creatures coming out of the darkness and the behind a number of these different trees and shrubs and bushes that are in the area, you guys are then attacked by these 3 creatures. One of them being a little bit bigger than the others, actually being once I can get my screen oriented here on both sides of the map. One of these creatures actually looking a little bit more intimidating than the other. And that being this individual up here. He looks quite bigger than the rest of them. with that said, I am going to have you guys roll initiative once I can get this silly tracker to work the way I want it to.
I'm just opening up my sheet.
Toggle combat state. All right, you guys should be able to go over there and roll your initiatives.
Ugh. Oh, man. Hey, does that count? It bumped my dice.
I don't know if it counts.
Dang.
All right, all initiatives are rolled. We're going to start the combat. It is the bigger creature's turn.
All right.
This creature is, let's see what he wants to do. He actually creeps out from behind these logs that are up here, kind of in the, that are kind of stacked here, kind of like basically organized to be ready for harvest. However, he is going to come down, and he is going to, once I figure out exactly what he's going to do. First thing he sees is actually going to be our friend. Nope, everyone moved. I gotta deselect everybody. First thing he's going to do is going to move down and see our friend Timic, and he's going to go ahead and come in for a bite and a claw attack.
No.
So first one coming at you, Timic, is going to be 16 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
All right, and that's going to be, as you see there, 7 points of damage. So we'll do that. I'll do that for you. And then he's going to come in for that claw. Claw is going to come in. It's going to be a 16 to hit again. So that's going to be 5 more points of damage. And I need a Constitution saving throw from you, please. Nine. Okay. Ending his turn. We're going to move on to the next werewolf. This one down here is going to attack the closest thing it sees, and it's going to come in and come after you, Shirley.
Yeah.
Again, multi-attack, coming in for the bite.
Bring it.
That's going to be 13 to hit.
That'll hit.
13 hits. That'll be 4 points of piercing damage. And I'm going to need a Constitution saving throw as the claws come in. That's going to be a 12 to hit on the claws. I believe that misses you.
It does indeed, yes.
Okay. And
Yeah.
Constitution save of 8. All right. All right.
Not proficient.
So these two creatures both just come in. Both coming in, taking bites out of both of you. And you feel like kind of in your bloodstream as something appears to take hold. Brings us to Juliet. Juliet, what are you doing? You've seen these two werewolf-looking creatures kind of come in, both attack your friends. What are you going to do?
I am casting Eldritch Blast at the big guy.
All right, Eldritch Blast the big guy. Go right ahead.
Let's see. Is that a hit?
18 definitely hits for 5 force damage. You see, as Juliet kind of like brings out, her eyes roll in the back of her head, and she kind of fires this Eldritch Blast. What color is it again? It's that fiery red, if I'm not mistaken?
It's a fiery red.
Fiery red. So you see this fiery red flame licking out, kind of fires out like a firebolt, but you almost see it kind of like shift as it kind of goes in and reaches its target. Anything else on your turn, Juliet?
That is my go.
That is your go. All right. That's going to bring us to Timic. Timic, this creature is in your face, just taking swipes at you. What are you going to do?
I will use my bonus action to turn to an elk.
Of course you will. I will get that elk token here for you. You are now an elk.
And
With elk hit points. So you can mark down that you have 13 hit points as an elk.
and then I will ram it.
All right, go ahead and roll for your ram. Do you have the ability to roll for your ram, or should I do it for you? You do. All right, good.
And I miss.
Yeah, 7 plus 5, unfortunately. Yeah, total of 7 is unfortunately going to miss. So you come in. You guys you've seen this kind of all before. You've seen Timmick kind of hunker down and all of a sudden kind of grow into this large elk-looking form. You also, with a keen eye, can also see our little bird friend Dale also begin to kind of morph and shrink down. You can actually see this kind of like little beetle kind of hovering around, kind of like jumping around in between the horns as he kind of goes in for the ram. Unfortunately, this monster just avoids your attack. Anything else on your turn?
I think that's it.
All right. Brings us Shirley. Shirley, you, again, same thing. These creatures came out. One of them, he tried to go for a swipe at you. You were able to avoid it, but he did sink his teeth into your arm, and you kind of feel that same kind of going through your bloodstream. What do you do on your turn?
All right. I'm going to try. Yeah, I guess. All right. I'm going to take a stab at this guy.
All right.
So, at here, two-handed. So this is going to be a D8 instead of a D6. I just got to, where's my inventory? There we go. Oh, I was down too far. Can I change that or let me roll it?
Ooh, natural 1. So you do come in with that two-handed strike, and unfortunately, you kind of startled. You kind of rip your hand out, and you try to just take a blind swipe, but unfortunately, this creature is already kind of pulling away, and unfortunately, you're unable to make contact. Anything else on your turn?
No, that is. I gotta make contact to do anything cool.
Okay. Nothing with a bonus action or anything?
No, I am pretty well spent on those.
Ah, okay. That's gonna bring us to Maury. Moharan, same thing. You've seen all of your friends getting attacked here. What are you gonna do?
Well, where's the big fella?
Big fella is top right, so he is right here, kind of engaged with Timmick.
We're getting that guy's face.
All right, you get in that guy's face.
Let's give him a smack.
All right, give him a smack. Smack with your maul. Go for it. An 11 just barely hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Ooh. That's crunchy.
Woo! 11 points of damage. So you, with your maul in hand, you kind of just come over and whack! You hit this thing, this creature up the side of the head. Just, you see it spit out a few teeth and.
Well, I'm not done yet, big boy.
All right, and what do you do next?
I'm gonna throw a axe right in his face.
Okay.
That'll be it.
I was gonna say that will be a disadvantage because you are in his face. Although it calculated out as 2d20 plus all your stuff, so that's gonna be confusing. So just roll a flat d20, and we'll add 7. So that's a 22, and then one more time. That's going to be a 12, so that's still going to hit. So go ahead and roll your damage.
Ready?
All right, 6 points of damage. So you then again, after you kind of whack this guy in the face, you then, on your backswing, let loose a thrown axe. You kind of huck it in, and you see it just like dive into the chest cavity of this bigger humanoid wolfen form, and it just takes it and just throws it down on the ground at its feet and just.
Well, I'm not done with you yet, big fella. I'm gonna action.
All right, what do you do now?
I'm gonna use my action surge.
All right.
All right, now let's see what we do again. First thing, get him with that maul.
I mean, 22 definitely hits. Jeez, another 10 points of damage. So you're just wailing away at this guy. Sheik. and then that uppercut kicks him right across the chin.
And then one last disadvantage throw at you, big boy.
And that'll hit for another 8 damage. So you, again, just taking this guy down a few pegs. You're able to kind of take him down. He's actually looking pretty hurt now. You pushed him all the way through Haggard to the point where now he's looking pretty beat up already.
So I'll just look him in the face and say, "Boy, I hit you so hard you'll see tomorrow today."
All right, does that end your turn?
That's it for me.
All right. Now it is the other. It is the other the other werewolf's turn. This one, you seem to be the person causing the most issues, so he's just gonna run right up into you, and go ahead and attack you, Maury, with his attack. So, get that out of here. So first thing coming at you is gonna be its bite. That is going to be that's only going to be a 7 to hit. I'm pretty sure that doesn't hit your big, beefy form. And then he's going to come in with the claws. That's going to be an 18 to hit.
That'll hit.
All right, and that's going to deal 6 points of damage, which I will do for you on here. Oh, I don't know why you just moved, but there you go. And then he just kind of like roars at you again. Actually, he had advantage on the first strike, so you actually take... he actually rolled a 23 on the first one, so you actually take another 4 points of damage from the bite. And make another Constitution save for me. All right. All right, ending his turn. Brings us back up to the big guy. Big guy. He's... not happy with you, Maury, so he's going right after you as well. He's you've been beating up on him pretty good. So he's going to come with a bite and a claw attack as well. And both of these are at advantage. So we got a 13 on the bite.
No, sir.
No, sir. And then the claws are going to be an 18 to hit.
That'll hit.
All right, and that's going to just be another 6 points of damage. So he kind of tries to come out and bite at you, and then slashes out at you. He does make purchase. Kind of finds a little bit of kind of that fold in between your armor. And he kind of sinks those claws and tries to pull out your armor, but he's that's strapped pretty well to your chest, so you're okay there. Ending his turn, we go over to the werewolf in front of Shirley. This one is gonna go in for his bite and his claws attacks as well. So bite and claw coming at you here, Shirley. These are at a normal roll, so we got a 20 to hit on the bite and a 14 to hit on the claw.
Those are both going to make contact.
Those are both going to make contact. You're going to take a total of 11 points of damage, so I will do that for you. So that thing comes in. He gets a hold of you, grabs onto that arm again, kind of like pierces into you and almost shakes around like a dog, and he just starts like blindly clawing at you, and one of them does catch you across the face. Can I have another Constitution saving throw for you, please?
Indeed.
$11. Okay. Brings us to Juliet. Juliet, your friends are getting beat the F up. What are you going to do?
Can you move my token to the big guy?
To the big guy? Absolutely. Do you want to flank with Morharan or no?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, we'll move you up there.
And let's see. We're going to go for... That means I would roll with advantage. Hits?
20 definitely hits. I believe it's 3. It's 1 plus your charisma modifier, which should be 3. So that should be 4 points of damage, not 3. So you come in with your packed weapon, and you're able to kind of come in and throw a blow right into its side. Does a little bit of damage, but he's already looking kind of hurt too, like I said, and this one just kind of takes another big chunk out of him, but he's still alive.
Okay. I don't think I have another action, so that's all I can do for right now.
All right. Brings us to Timmick. Timmick, you in your elkin form, what are you going to do?
I will attempt to ram it again.
All right, go for your ram.
Did that work? No?
It didn't come across the screen, so no. There it is. 21 definitely hits. Go ahead and roll your damage on your ram. And I believe your ram has something in it, doesn't it?
No.
It doesn't?
It's just a d6 plus 3.
Oh, it's your charge that makes them go prone. Okay. So d6 plus 3, so 4 points of damage. So you come in, you as well take another big chunk out of this guy. He's kind of hanging on death's door right now. He's kind of starting to look down. Ending your turn?
Yeah, that's all I can do.
All right, that's going to bring us up to Shirley. Shirley.
All right.
You're feeling it right now. What are you going to do?
Yeah, I wanted to try and take these guys alive, but I just don't know at this point. Maybe
give me an insight check.
Okay. See here, where am I at?
Okay. Even with a 7, you kind of feel like these things are just some sort of evil creature. You're not really sure what they are, but they look like they're not going to stop.
Yeah, no, I just meant maybe knocking them out as opposed to, if we can, because when we killed the other one, it changed back. So
Right.
I don't know if that's his thought process anyway. All right,
Yeah.
So I'm going to try an intimidation.
Okay.
I want to pull out the war horn, and this will be pending DM approval. I want to pull out the war horn and give a blow on that, and then use prestidigitation to light the fire at the same time.
To light a fire?
Yeah, because you said there was a small, this is like a campsite, right? For the this is site number 5.
So it's not a campsite. It's actually just the site where the lumberjacks actually come in and take the log. So there's no actual it's not like a campsite per se. It's
There's not
site.
like a fire pit or whatever.
Right, exactly.
Well, that kind of blows that theory out of the water. Yeah, I thought there was a fire pit here or something that I could.
No.
What happened to that awesome grappling you
idea.
did?
Yeah, I mean that's really. I'm just gonna go ahead and have to whack this guy and try and. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and give him a punch. Actually.
All right. All right, go ahead and give him a punch. It is just not your night, man.
Nice.
So that is a 7 to hit, and unfortunately that 7 you go in for that punch, just and this thing you actually hit the creature, but just your punch just doesn't really do much. It just kind of
Yeah, he really got in that arm good. He must have tore a tendon or something.
Yep.
All right. I do believe. Let me double check that real quick. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Yep.
You could, if you have any spells, if you have.
Well. Just check one thing.
You do have one bonus action spell if you have a spell slot. I know that.
Yeah. Okay, since I punched him, I thought I had to hit. I can try and grapple him.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go for a grapple.
Okay.
Is that gonna let me? Okay, I guess not. That's okay. Because I'm good at this. Well, I spoke too soon, I think.
All right, hold on. So it's just a strength check. Yeah, no, unfortunately, he rolled a 17. So you go in to kind of you go for that punch and doesn't really do much, but then you try to make a wrist grab, and the thing just.
And then I'm gonna just suggest to the team, if we can take down the big guy, maybe a tactical retreat is in order. That's gonna be my turn.
All right. Ending your turn, Maury. This thing's taking quite a big chunk out of you as well, but you think you might be able to finish him off. He's looking really hurt. You see him kind of struggling. His arms kind of like dangling down to the side. He's starting to kind of look a little bit desperate too. Looking at his comrades for help. What do you do?
I'm gonna go right after him.
All right. 12's gonna hit. Go ahead and roll damage. Points of bludgeoning damage. So you come in with that maul and you're able to kind of you strike true, hitting him, and then it kind of crumples down to the ground, and it just gets back up, and it just, with a raging fire in its eyes, just it's not looking good, but he's trying to stay in it. And with a thrown hand axe, so at disadvantage, that thrown hand axe is a 9. So you go ahead and throw that hand axe as you try to go on your backswing. And unfortunately, he's gotten wise to your tactic and just kind of is able to avoid it, even though he's kind of had some issues and he's kind of down on the ground.
I will use the old bonus action here to take a quick second wind.
Okay. Did you take your bonus action to throw your hand axe, though?
It's my offhand.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yep, let's go ahead and roll your d10 plus your 2 hit points.
All right.
All right, so that's 9 points of healing. I'll put that in for you. Perfect. So you're able to use your second wind. You get a good amount. You get a pretty good chunk back. That's huge right now, obviously. Bringing us back down to the other werewolf on the other side of you. He, kind of seeing his leader looking a little haggard a little bit. He's kind of looking a little bit desperate, but he's going to take a couple swipes at you. Even though he hasn't himself gotten hit yet, he's a little worried about the pack leader. That is going to be 22 to hit on the bite.
That'll do.
All right, that's going to be 5 points of damage. I'll put that in. And then he's going to come in with that claw attack. So bite. And that's going to be an 18 to hit for another 5 points of damage. Which I put in for you already. So he comes in for that bite and that claw again, kind of finding that just small little piece in between your arm. He's able to kind of swipe at you and take a couple hits out of you. And that's going to end his turn, bringing us back up to the leader here. This leader is it's desperation mode for him, but he's going to kind of do that. He's in the point now where he's kind of no turning back now, so he's going to kind of try and hold his ground. That is going to be a 13 to hit.
On me?
On Maury. Of course, you were the object of his affection.
That will not hit.
All right, and then coming in with a claw. That is going to be a 16 to hit.
That will just hit.
All right, that just hits, and that is going to be 5 points there on the claws. Let me just give me 1 second, guys. All right, ending his turn. Come on, turn order. Let's go. That brings us to the one over by you, Shirley. This one.
This slippery bugger.
This slippery bugger. Lather, rinse, repeat. Going in for the bite. That's going to be a 6 to hit.
Oh, man.
And then comes in for the claw. Ooh. So he rolled a 7. His other attack, if it was going to be an advantage, would have been a 24 for a crit, because he rolled a natural 20 on the second one, but it's only a 7 to hit, so you survive.
I'm glad.
So he just comes in. You're desperation. You're kind of in the zone now. You're kind of trying to avoid it coming at you. You're able to kind of hold your ground. Brings us to Juliet.
I'm gonna go in for another hit with my blade.
Okay, go ahead and roll for your blade.
Once I find it, I had it, and then I lost it.
I had it, and then I lost it.
It was here, I swear.
Dang it, Carol.
There. There it is.
God,
Okay.
dang it. God dang it, Carol.
Yes.
18 is going to definitely hit. 7 points of damage. How do you want to do this?
I'm looking at my teammates. I'm seeing that they're in a lot of pain, and this thing is just causing
That's 3 for
issues.
3.
So I'm taking my sword and I am just swiping it across his gut, and then I'm just gonna shove it all the way in.
All right, so you taking your packed weapon, that long, kind of gnarly-looking blade with the red gem, you were able to kind of, with both hands, you kind of slice just like a big cut open in the front of its abdomen. You see kind of some of the gore and the blood, and you actually cut through some of the muscles. You actually kind of see it just, and you're able to kind of take that sword and you're able to stab it in, and just, you see it start to bleed out. And it tries to grab your sword, and you just twist it the rest of the way around, and the jagged edges of your sword just kind of rip and tear into the intestines and into the actual meat of his muscle tissue, and you just, and with a spout of gore, it is no more.
How clean is the blade?
So clean. You actually, it's kind of weird. You guys all kind of see this, and as she pulls it out, you see the blood just kind of flash out. But then all of a sudden, you just also see the blade, almost like it absorbs the ichor that came out of this creature. Anything else in your turn, Juliet?
That's it.
All right. Brings us to Timmick in your elkin form. You are currently engaged with this one down here, but it's just 2 of these other guys here that, at this point, just so you guys know, haven't taken any damage whatsoever.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna flank the bottom left one that Shirley is attacking. I'll take the opportunity attack.
Okay. It takes its attack of opportunity, so it's going to come at you with its claw attack. That's going to be an 8 to hit your elkin form, which I don't believe hits. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, you got a 10. Its armor class of the elk is 10, yeah, but you're able to kind of avoid it, and you're able to come down here, and you're able to move down there as your elkin self.
Can you make the movement so I can like go around it and get that 20 feet of movement for a charge attack?
I think we can. I don't know if you can. How far can you move as an elk? 50 feet. So
50 feet. Yeah. So if I like back charge at it.
10, 15, 20, 25, 5, 10. I'm just going to say there's a way to do it. I'm sure there's a way if I did the math, but I can't figure it out right now because I'm not smart enough. So you go ahead and go in for your charge attack.
So I charge, and that's I have to do a ram attack. So
yeah.
Get him.
12 definitely hits. Go ahead and roll your damage. So that's going to be 2d6, and I believe that's a strength save on his part.
It's an extra 2d6.
Oh, it's an extra 2d6. Oh,
yeah,
geez.
so
roll your
3d6.
damage plus. Yeah, so roll your 3d6.
Nice.
Sweet.
Strength check's gonna be a 21, so I don't believe that's gonna.
Yeah, it succeeds on that.
But 13 points of damage there on your ram there, and you're able to kind of lower your horns, and you kind of all see, and you see Dale kind of on his little antler, kind of like with one arm up in the air, one little arm up in the air going. But you're able to take a pretty big chunk out of this guy. He's already looking hurt, Anything else on your turn there, Timmick?
No, that's it.
All right. Brings us to Shirley. Shirley, after flirting with death there for a second, what do you do?
Same deal as before. I just don't think Shirley is ready to quite give up on these guys. So I'm gonna take, while he's distracted, I'm gonna try and like bring both my hands down like a hammer blow on this thing's back.
Okay.
Go ahead. You got an unarmed strike.
17 hits. So this time your punches actually make contact, and you actually punch this thing in the gut for 5 points of damage.
Nice.
Now it's looking haggard.
All right, and then I'm gonna try another strength check to grapple it.
Okay. Hold on. Don't get too down. He's still gotta make his roll. It's just a regular strength roll. That's a 6. Which your 8 beats, so he is considered grappled.
All right.
I don't really know which marker to use, but we'll use. Yeah, we'll just use this hand.
There you go. That works. That works. All right.
So this grappled.
Oh God.
Is that end your turn? Do you have anything on your bonus action or no?
That was my bonus action, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Ending your turn brings us to Maury. Maury, you're currently engaged with one of these other werewolf, smaller werewolf creatures that's kind of behind where you were before. What do you do?
All right, I'm gonna attack that fella.
Okay. 13 is gonna hit, or that was your damage. Wait a minute.
Yes,
so you rolled a 10 to hit?
Yes, sir.
10, unfortunately, is just going to barely miss. So you go in and try to come in with your maul, and it's able to kind of avoid it just barely. You actually catch a little bit of the hair as you kind of like brush it off the side. But unfortunately, it does miss.
Well, since I got him here, might as well give it a shot.
Throw on the axe.
I'm going to try it.
15 hits for 6 points of damage. So you're able to, again, that same tactic you like to use. You swing and just try to throw that. How many hand axes do you have left?
I've only got one. I only got one more.
Okay. There's a bunch of them all laying on the ground around you, but yeah, so you got one more left. Ending your turn?
Yes, sir.
All right, that's going to bring us back around to his turn. Him standing in front of you is going to go in for that attack. So we got a bite and a claw coming at you. So that's going to be an 18 to hit.
That'll hit.
All right, for 5 points of damage, which I believe brings you down to 0.
I am down.
All right, and then the next one auto crits. So it's a so you take 2 death saves. And with you being down, he's free to kind of move, so he is going to seeing that you're down, he's probably going to come over here to flank against your comrade there. Ending his turn, brings us to dead werewolf, brings us to lesser one. This guy, he's going to attempt to break the grapple. So strength check, please. Over there, Mr. Shirley. Mr. Red. 8. He rolled an 8 and you rolled a 9. Great. So he is unable to break the grapple, and that actually uses his action. So he's just kind of locked in there. Brings us to Juliet.
I see Maury go down, and this is the first person that in a long time that I truly care about. So I'm really mad. I'm going to figure out a way. Can I flank to the? Can I flank with somebody where I can get to him?
I mean, you can get to him just by going here.
Yep.
But if you flank over here, you can attack this thing if that's what you're trying to do, or are you trying to stabilize him?
There's no way I could stabilize Mori, but I am able to attack the creature.
Okay. Sure. We'll bring it down here.
Okay. So is that advantage or no?
Yes, it is.
Sweet.
21 definitely hits, and I don't think that 10 is correct. It's 10 plus. So you rolled an 8 plus, so that's 11 points of damage. Big chunk here coming in. He as well.
And I'm just going to like egg him on, like I want him to attack me.
Okay. Give me if you're taunting him, give me a persuasion check.
Okay. Sure.
I'll let you do that for a free action.
Cool.
Okay. With an 11, what do you say to taunt him?
Why don't you pick on someone your own size, even though she's so small and so tiny, and like
okay.
Mori's huge,
All
but
right.
she's like so mad.
Yeah. It just kind of turns around, looks at you, and just. Ending your turn, Timic. You here in your Elkin form, you actually can see from down the ways. You can see that Mori has fallen down there on the other side of the battlefield. What do you do?
I'm going to move just south of Mori.
Okay. If the one that you're engaged, it is going to take attack of opportunity, but he is engaged, so it will be a disadvantage. Or he is grappled, so it will be a disadvantage. But still, that's a 13 to hit, which hits your Elkin form, but only 7 points of damage.
Okay, so I'm going up there, and I'm going to get out of. Can I be 2 spaces down? And then I'm going to get out of elk form.
Yeah, right there.
That's fine.
Right here?
Where you pinged.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use my bonus action to get out of Elkin form.
Okay.
And then I can still use Healing Word, right?
Yes, you can.
All right, so I'm going to do that on Mori.
All right, so Healing Word on Mori. Go ahead and roll your D4 plus your spellcasting. 7 points of healing. So, Mori, you kind of felt your last thing you remember is just your lights kind of going out. This creature coming in, just you across, biting into you, and then as you're falling, kind of getting raked across the front. But you kind of hear the sound of Timic's words, and a little bit of Dale going, "Come on, buddy, get up!" And you are able to find yourself and recover. You are still prone, but you now have 7 HP. Which is much better than what you had before. That end your turn, Timic?
Yeah, I don't think I can do anything else. I think I used all my actions. So.
Okay. Brings us to... Let's get the combat tracker here. Brings us to Shirley. Shirley, what do you do? You are currently flanked by 2 of these creatures, but you are grappling one of them.
All right. I would like to suplex this one that I'm grappling.
Okay. All right, go ahead and make your, I believe it's just another unarmed strike at advantage, right?
Yes, indeed. Let's
All right,
do
go ahead.
this.
Go for it.
Let's see. Bam.
Double 4s for a 10, unfortunately. So you go to pick him up and it kind of avoids the attack. Almost like a wrestler trying to counter suplex. You go to pick him up, it's like, poof, it just kind of stays there.
Yeah, he just like kind of drops his weight, and I'm like, ugh. But it's because he bit my arm. That's the only reason.
Yeah, your arm is feeling really sore.
Yeah. All right. At least I didn't drop him. All right. Yeah, that's. Yeah, I'm just gonna like kind of like hang on to him, and be like, you know, if anybody wants to take a swing at this guy, now would be the time.
And with that brings us to Mori. Mori, you are currently prone on the ground, but you are alive with a creature standing right next to you.
All right, so I'm going to stand up.
All right, you stand up.
And boy, you made me madder than a wet cat. And I'm going to try to smack him at advantage.
Smack him at advantage.
All right.
Yeah, 24 is definitely going to hit. Oh, ooh. 10 more points. This thing's looking like it's on the brink of this. So you come in with that maul, whack, and you hit this guy again, kind of like in the shoulder, kind of where the kind of like bigger meat of the trap muscle is up there, and you just kind of sinks in, and you hear the sound of crack as you actually sink into and break the clavicle of this creature. Just and you can see it's just kind of his arm dangling there as it can't kind of keep itself upright.
Last hand axe.
Last hand axe, you throw it, and the 15 is going to hit. So go ahead and roll damage because you are flanking. 9 points. Yeah, that's enough. So you go ahead and you kind of, as it's kind of standing there, you then take your hand axe and you're able to kind of slash it, and you actually throw it, and it sinks kind of right in the opposite side into the neck of this creature, and you kind of just see this gout of ichor come out of it, and it falls.
And I'm going to head on down this way.
All right. That ends your turn?
Sir.
All right. It's going to bring us to a dead werewolf. It's going to bring us back to another dead werewolf. And then this one. This one's still grappled. Now it's seeing the death of its other fallen comrade. He's going to try to escape as well. He's doesn't want to be here now. It's going to be a strength check from you, Shirley.
Like that.
Ooh, 24. Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah, no, so he tries to get away, and he's just kind of he's unable to get away. Juliet?
I'm going to I go over to Shirley holding on to the werewolf, or what I assume might be a werewolf. And I'm just like, at this point, it's not even Juliet. It's just something else that's taken over.
Okay.
I'm shoving my blade, if I can, in this thing's gut.
All right, go for it.
Advantage or no?
No, because no one's actually flanking. You could get into a position where you could be flanking, so yeah, I'll say yes.
Okay, perfect.
15 hits for 8 points of damage. So you are able to kind of sink your blade into its guts, dealing a significant chunk of damage. This thing is looking very hurt, very similar to its friend. And as you stick that blade in, it kind of like grabs onto it and you pulls it out, and you can see the blood just kind of spilling out, but none on your sword. And you guys kind of all see this. Juliet's eyes are kind of like glossed over white once again, and she definitely, something's going on. Brings us to Timmick.
Can I move myself?
Yeah, you should be able to move yourself. Yep.
I'm gonna go there, and then I'm gonna thorn whip him.
All right, thorn whip away.
Hit him.
An 11 hits for 2 points of damage. Yes. Is there anything else that Thorn Whip does? Does it grapple or anything like that?
You can pull a creature up to 10 feet closer to me. He's grappled, and I also don't want to pull him. So
that wouldn't be good.
No, I'm just whipping him.
Okay, just whip him good. All right, good. So you're able. You guys
since I used a cantrip, I can still use a spell slot bonus action.
You can use a bonus action spell slot. That's correct. Yeah, because you use a cantrip on your action.
And who's looking the worst? Shirley?
Right now, I would say Shirley. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Shirley's looking the worst.
I'll use healing word on him.
Okay, healing word. So 4 points of healing there for you, Shirley. So I took care of that for you. Awesome. Ending your turn?
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Shirley, you hear kind of the encouraging words of Dale kind of ringing in your head like, come on, Red, you can do this. Don't give up.
All right. Then I'm just basically... I'm gonna make another unarmed strike, but basically I'm just gonna start squeezing this thing. I gave you your chance. Now it's time to go to sleep. For good.
25 definitely hits for 5 points of damage. And you said you suplex him?
Like, I'm just like literally just like squeezing it like shh, 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 shh. Time to go to sleep.
So you begin to do that, and you see this werewolf faltering, but he's able to kind of resist. He is looking really hurt though.
Right.
Like on the brink of death, hurt. Ending your turn.
Yeah, that's it for me. Just gonna hold him there for
Maury.
Right, here he comes. Hold him up. I'm gonna smack him like a punching bag.
Smack him like a punching bag. At advantage, 25 definitely hits. For 11 points of bludgeoning damage. How do you want to do this?
I just, as he's sitting there holding him, I just rear back with the maul and swing through and crack him across the side, ripping him out of Shirley's hands and tossing him to the side.
All right, and that's what you do. You picking up that maul, you're able to kind of whack, and again, you hear the sounds, and all of you guys in the vicinity here, being that you're this close, you hear the crunching of this creature's ribcage as this big, giant, spiked maul just kind of sinks in and just sticks. And it does actually take him out of your grasp, Shirley, but doesn't fall very far. And this maul almost digs in, almost halfway through until it hits the spinal column, where it then just pushes him down to the ground. He just and doesn't get up. He is dead. He is no more.
We won.
Let me change the music here real quick.
it's barley.
About time somebody else killed one besides Juliet.
She is 3 for 3.
Moment, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with Juliet at the moment.
All right, so you guys.
Does Juliet appear different after killing these? You said she was in some kind of a rage, so...
She was kind of enraged, and as everything kind of slowly calms down, you see her demeanor slowly but surely kind of... She's breathing heavily, but she slowly kind of comes back, and you see the pinks of her eyes kind of roll back into her head, and she appears to be herself now.
What happened, guys? Did we win?
We did.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Thought we were in trouble there.
Yeah, you didn't help much.
Oh,
That's
It was
not
mostly
a character.
Shirley.
oh. I'm sorry. Maybe next time I could be more help to you guys.
I hope so. Pick up your slack.
You were quite helpful enough. Thank you very much, Juliet.
So I did help?
You did indeed.
You always do.
Oh. Well, thank you.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I think I need to take a quick sit down. I'm not feeling so hot.
Sounds good to me.
Can I inspect the bodies to see if these were maybe the people that we were looking for?
Yeah, and yeah, go ahead and roll an investigation check, and you guys can all see this. These creatures have now kind of morphed back into their regular humanoid forms. You do see that one is a dwarf, who you assume to be Hogar. You do see another individual wearing a blue plaid shirt. This person is a human.
Henry.
And then you will also see another human looking figure, but this person looks a little bit taller and doesn't really appear to be wearing lumberjack attire. And with that 18, Juliet, as you're kind of searching through these bodies on this kind of larger individual who is kind of wearing like almost common clothes. It's kind of just normal, regular, common clothes, also kind of disheveled. Also a human male with kind of like scraggly brown hair. You actually find a bottle on his person.
I'm gonna take the bottle.
Okay. And you also do find on his person a note. And on that note, it actually says, "For the bravery you seek, drink the entire contents of this, for the strength larger than a pack of wolves." Okay. Signed, the alchemist. The bottle that you have in your hand is empty.
I'm going to, like, is there like a little cap on it or a little something?
No, there isn't actually. And it's just a kind of a standard, like, kind of little glass bottle, kind of a big round bottom with a narrow kind of top. It's much more of like an alchemist looking bottle than like, say, something you would drink like a beer or anything like that out of. It definitely looks like something that was brewed by somebody in some sort of laboratory of some sort.
I'm gonna smell it.
Okay. Go ahead and give me it being, yeah. Go ahead and give me just give me an Arcana check.
I was gonna say,
Yeah, can I help her with that?
can I assist on that? Because I'm trained in Arcana.
Me as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I'll hand it
There you
over
go.
to him.
I'm trained in smelling.
Nice.
Yeah, you can absolutely hand it over. Whichever one of you guys wants to make a roll, you can do so at advantage, or you can roll individually.
I'm
You go
gonna
ahead,
give.
sir.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Red, and this is strange. This was on his body. Maybe it might smell of something that you remember, since I'm not really too familiar with Arcana.
Okay. And yeah, let me.
So at advantage of 13. You kind of inspecting the bottle. You kind of, there's a little bit of residue back at the bottom, still kind of like clutching to the bottom of the bottle. You kind of give it a sniff. It smells kind of sour. Not anything that would necessarily be any kind of food stuff. You do understand that it's probably some sort of potion of some sort, but other than that, you're unable to kind of get the distinct details of what was actually a part of this bottle or what it might have contained.
The note is just signed the alchemist.
Correct.
Okay.
I think we need to find the alchemist.
I would agree.
Maybe this alchemist is the reason for this weird situation.
Yes. I'm unfamiliar with this brew.
Yeah, me either. Never seen anything like it. I don't know if this guy's going to be the reason behind or maybe a source of repair. I'm not sure.
We're not going to be able to find anything out tonight. I think we should rest.
Indeed.
Yeah.
We should set a watch in case more of these creatures are about, although that seems to be...
Are we on Site 5 right now?
You guys are currently at Site 5 right now, yes.
There's no huts or anything around there that they would take their breaks in, or...
You do kind of see a collection of some general bags and materials and stuff like that kind of off to the side. That would be kind of what you would think would be the general kind of like what you're describing. It's not necessarily a hut, but it just seems to kind of like a spot that they kind of like throw all their stuff to kind of gather it all up, whether it be food or any kind of other supplies like axes and stuff like that, saws. There's kind of like a pile of tools and some other general sundries that you can see.
Yeah.
What time of day is it?
The beginning of this fight was actually kind of at beginnings of nightfall, but it is now night has begun to fall as you guys have been kind of talking a little bit and after inspecting the bodies and stuff like that. It is nighttime. It is probably close to getting around during this time, although the sun's staying. So it's probably getting close to 8:30, 9 o'clock by standard hours time.
Okay. Yeah. Then I'll kind of gather up the supplies to make fire just from
Okay.
kindling and that kind of thing.
Mhm.
I'll light it with my prestidigitation and sing a song of rest.
Okay.
Just like-
Are you guys taking a short rest or a long rest here?
I would like to take a long rest.
Yeah, I
A long
would like
rest,
to
yeah.
rest too.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So you guys begin to kind of set everything up that you guys need for a long rest. With that being said, I will need someone give me a survival check to just kind of disguise your campsite if that's what you guys are trying to do as you're kind of sitting here. Or you guys can just cap out in the wide open wilderness if you choose to do so. That's fine too.
Are any of you proficient in survival?
I am partially proficient. I'm a jack of all trades.
Let's see.
You're halfway proficient.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I know a thing or two, but I wouldn't be opposed to someone else trying it.
I can
Yeah.
give it a shot if you don't mind.
Sure.
Before
Okay.
I'm trying to see if I even am.
That's an 11.
An 11. Juliet, you are actually. Excuse me. Man, jeez. Sorry
Bless
about
you.
that. You are proficient in survival, Juliet, with a +3.
Okay, I'll give it. If it's still okay, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll let you guys make separate rolls. All right, and a 19. So you guys are able to kind of, gather up any kind of kindling and firewood. You are kind of able to, with Juliet, and between you and Maury, you're able to kind of form up enough of the foliage and kind of surrounding plant life and kind of create a little bit of a disguise, especially for the fire that Shirley is lighting, just to kind of keep it shielded from any bumps going on in the night, like that howl you just heard. So, as you guys begin to set everything down, who is going to be taking the first night's watch?
I can take the first watch.
Okay.
I'll take second.
Okay.
I'll
I'll
take
take-
third.
I'll take the
And then-
fourth.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, Timmick, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Wow.
12. Hey, that's okay. +5 in your perception helped you there. So you're able to kind of, as you're sitting there, you kind of still hear kind of the sounds of just different woodland-like creatures. You hear kind of the squawks of crows, and you hear the hooting of owls as you're kind of sitting there. And even though you can hear them, and you actually can understand them, given your ability to kind of understand animals. But while you sit there, nothing really catches your attention. Everything seems pretty calm. You and Dale have a conversation about what just happened. But other than that, nothing really catches your attention. Who is number 2? Was that you, Juliet? Or was that Red?
No. That was red.
Oh, right, Red. Okay, Red, go ahead and give me your perception check. 15. As you sit there as well, you're able to kind of sit. You hear again kind of the rustling. You hear at one point you hear a couple, like a twig snapping. You go to investigate it, but you find that it's just a squirrel kind of running around, kind of amongst the leaves and stuff like that. And you guys have all noticed this too. Like again, it's still kind of fall time, even though it shouldn't be. It's kind of strange. But you guys you're able to kind of keep your wits about you, and you don't get too anxious about like the kind of little creatures kind of wandering around. But your watch goes on without issue. Juliet.
Okay.
6. Okay. You take a nap. No. So you during your night's watch, you actually you're kind of engrossed with kind of like everything that just happened in the rage that you were in, and as you sit there, a voice comes to you.
Haven't heard from you in a while.
Yes. That was really good back there. I appreciate it.
Last time you said you appreciated something, you gave me the blade.
That's right. You've done well.
So is you taking over, is that something that's gonna happen often?
Only when it is necessary. When you're able to turn yourself over to the emotions inside of you, just know that I will be there.
Noted. Not to turn myself to the emotions.
Come now. Our relationship hasn't been bad. I've given you the tools that you need in order to survive. Done nothing to harm you. Why do you hold back?
Well, 1, you haven't showed me your face. 2, you only come out when I'm in battle. And 3, my sword drinks blood.
And I appreciate that. I'm always there. Don't you worry. We'll be able to do a lot together. I can tell.
That's reassuring.
It should be. Now, you should go. I believe you're supposed to wake up that dragon friend of yours. Good job, my Juliet. And as he kind of says that last word, you almost hear the sounds of a as he kind of leaves your mind. Maury, your watch. Go ahead and give me a perception check. 8. So as you sit there, you hear the sound in your... No, I'm just kidding. As you sit there, you...
What the heck's going on?
You kind of continue to kind of tend to your wounds and kind of bandage them up. You had a pretty rough go there last night, so you're a little bit more exhausted than you normally would be. It's kind of affecting your ability to kind of keep watch, but you were able to kind of you do your due diligence to kind of keep your mind and clear as best you can. You get a little bit anxious every once in a while, so you kind of get hyper vigilant and kind of get a little bit too over perceptive to an extent, but you are able to complete your night's watch without issue. Nothing happens over the course to interrupt. And morning comes to you. So you guys all can take your long rest. There is a way to do that in Foundry Virtual Tabletop if you guys want to give it a shot. If you go into your character sheet, you can actually just click the little long rest button that is below your hit dice.
Wait, I did that wrong. There it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nice.
There it is. Long rest and recover a hit point. Good. So you guys arise to a glowing fall sky. There is currently nothing about. You guys are able to kind of start your day and continue on your adventure.
Where should we go next?
Back to town, I would imagine. We'll have to speak with Roburn about the disappearance, and also with my Harriet.
You think maybe we should take a quick scan around Site 5? And we didn't have much time last night, and it was getting dark, but just see if there's anything around this site.
The alchemist could be out here somewhere. This is only happening on Site 5. Could be held up in a cave somewhere.
Howie, is it still foggy?
The fog kind of dissipated during your after your encounter with the kind of ghost figure.
Okay.
There was kind of always a low fog in general, but now that morning has come, the fog has lifted. It seems that, and you would know this, Timmick, you would know this, that the fog kind of starts to roll in once it gets closer into the afternoon evening hour. So you're able to kind of like relay that to everyone else.
Would I know any cave locations in this area that it could possibly be the alchemist hiding in or living in?
Go ahead and give me a... Let me think about this. I would say history, but I don't think that's really appropriate for this situation. So go ahead and give me a nature check. 7. You know of a couple different hovels and stuff like that, but nothing that would stick out as being like you've visited of the caves that you know of and visited. There wasn't anyone really held up inside of them, so nothing really that comes to mind when you think about it.
Okay.
All right. Then I guess I'm just gonna scour the site, unless somebody else is better at investigating than me.
I don't know. I think we should all kind of go around here and take peeks in different areas. It's a big site.
It is.
I'll take a look on one side of the site.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I will as well. I'll see what we can find.
I'm looking for any kind of maybe shoe tracks or just anything that seems misplaced or out of the ordinary.
Okay.
I want to look for more of those bottles.
There you go.
She only found the one, right?
Correct. She only found the one.
I can't find my own feet.
Let's see here. With those investigation checks, you guys are able to kind of walk around the general site, and you're able to kind of you're able to turn over a lot of the different equipment and stuff like that that's here. You're able to kind of you find a number of different kind of for your purposes, Morharon, you actually do find a total of 4 more axes that could serve as hand axes, so you can actually add that to your inventory if you want to. But other than that, you don't really find a lot to kind of go on. You can continue to kind of search around. You kind of see where like there's some personal effects of some individuals that you gather might be of the individuals that you see here that you defeated as a result of whatever kind of curses kind of come upon them. But other than that, there doesn't really seem to be a whole lot giving you a lot of indication of why they turned this way.
Okay, so real quick, we fought 4 werewolves, correct? Or what we assume to be werewolves.
Yeah, and based on like kind of your general understanding of like not necessarily the area, but just kind of your general understanding of like some of the stories you were told as kids and stuff like that as you were growing up, especially you, Red, being a learned individual. as a noble, you would kind of discern that this is probably some sort of werewolf or lycanthropy that's kind of taken on these individuals.
Okay. And there were 4 lumberjacks. There was
Correct.
Gerald, Henry, Scott, and Hogar. And
Right.
they all the ones that were there matched those descriptions of the last 3 that were missing?
So the only one that wasn't making sense. So you did find what you believe to be Scott and Hogar. You
Okay.
also found that burned individual that you're not sure who it is. It could be Gerald. It could be Henry. But then you also found this third individual that doesn't really match the description of any of the individuals that you know of.
Okay, that's what I missed. I thought maybe that was Scott. Okay.
No, unfortunately, no. I mean, not unfortunately, but that was not Scott. So Scott was a lumberjack as well, indicated by the plaid shirts that we know of so well. But no, unfortunately, that last individual, strange. It's kind of just not adding up. Henry's,
Yeah, and
for all you
I
know,
feel-
Henry's still missing.
Yeah. I feel like, too, that's something that... Like, this is a small community. Like, they would know if there was another person out here. So this has to be some sort of outside influence.
This is definitely some sort of outside influence.
Yes, sir.
Who would gain from destabilizing this region?
Or what would gain?
Been trying to stop these lumberjacks for years. Why didn't I think of the werewolves?
Oh,
There's
because
always some overlord that's trying to take over the world, isn't there?
throughout our history, there have been a fair few, but I like to feel that most people have come to an enlightenment in this age. I could be wrong, though. I'm young yet.
What do you guys think?
Well,
I think we need to figure out who the alchemist is. I think that's our only lead at this point.
Yeah, I mean, we looked around here. There ain't no track, so we can't find this missing. Whoever this 4th person is that we can't find, Henry, Gerald, no idea where they would be right now.
yeah. Well, I suppose I hate. How far is it back to the? We didn't bring the wagon with us, did we?
No, we left it back at the lumberjack person.
The main
there.
camp.
Yeah.
The main camp, yep.
Well, Timmick, might I impose upon you to carry a body or two in your elk form?
Yeah, that's fine. Or I could turn into that little dog again.
I feel like the elk might be slightly more helpful in this instance.
Oh.
Are you sure you don't want to turn back into Chihuahua? Because he was really cute.
As adorable as that may be, it would. We have 3 bodies to carry. I can manage one, but that first
Yeah.
fellow's at least as big as me. So
Yeah, I'll turn back into an elk and bring him back to the cart.
okay, I'll grab here the dwarf or the other guy, Hogar.
Mhm.
I don't want the big burly dragonborn to have to, carry any of the weight.
Well, I assumed he would carry another one.
He can carry the elk carrying the bodies.
Yeah. I got you.
All right. Yeah, so I think that's the plan then, is to we'll gather up the 3 bodies and we'll take them back to the lumber camp,
I
or the
could,
lumber yard.
I can drag the dwarf body through the forest if you want.
No, he's on my back.
Oh, okay.
All right, yeah, I'll grab whichever, one of the other two bodies then,
And I'll take one.
thank you very much, sir. And then I think we'll start our trek back.
Can you
Okay.
prop the body up on me so it's holding my antlers? So it's like a Weekend at Bernie's thing, like he's riding me?
Please.
That will make it
Thanks.
simpler, but we'd like to give them some modicum of respect in
Put
death.
some glasses on him, too.
A dark humor.
He has such a great personality when he's in elk form.
I actually can't even talk when I'm in elk form.
I was
so-
going to say, I'm assuming this whole time Juliet is just translating for us. He's like, roar, 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 roar.
I absolutely am. I've casted Speak What Animal, and I've been having a conversation with Timmick this whole time.
Okay. So you guys, you guys are having this conversation as you're kind of meandering your way, and you are able to kind of take. Do you take the third body of the taller individual with you as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I'm carrying.
Okay. So in your elkin form, you can take both of those individuals, no problem. You, Maury, if you're going to be carrying that person, it's going to slow you down if you do it by yourself.
I'll
But-
assist him.
Yeah, but between like a couple of you, you should be able to kind of carry them around. You guys travel the better part of a couple hours, or a few hours, and you guys find yourself back at this log bridge that you encountered a certain ghostly figure the day before. But you guys are able to cross this bridge without issues. You are able to kind of continue on, and you are able to make it back after the better part of the morning. You get there probably about mid-afternoon. You finally do arrive back at the lumberyard, which, if you guys remember the lumberyard, you guys kind of see that there's very large piles of logs kind of sporadically kind of put about. You see a number of individuals kind of all dressed in different shades of plaid, kind of all meandering around and walking about, helping put logs onto carts, offloading some, continue to kind of create this kind of the lumber business or the log business is still continuing. They haven't stopped, but you do notice that a number of the piles that were there the day before are a little bit smaller, and it doesn't appear that they're being replenished as quickly as they were before. And you guys arrive, and you guys do see your cart. It was kind of pulled around to the back of the office there, and kind of behind a little gated area that they have there at the main office, kind of there in the front for this particular lumberyard.
Gonna wait for a couple of the guys. I'm gonna go. If you guys want, we can go inside and talk to him and see what he says.
Yes, we should seek out Oliver again. He will know
Who these people might be?
Hopefully he can identify this one fella.
right. He will be the best source of information. I would just kind of like help load these guys basically into the cart with the other body.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, easy enough. You're able to kind of take the bodies off of the back of Timmick very easily. They kind of slump off. As you guys kind of walk through the camp, did you guys cover these guys or these individuals, or they just kind of slumped over his back?
I mean, I don't think I didn't have anything to cover them with. Like maybe I would take over like my jacket and throw it over, once we got into camp. But otherwise,
Yeah. So you guys do see a number of individuals as you're kind of walking through, kind of like give you guys an eye as you guys are kind of walking with, could possibly quite very well be a number of their friends that they knew just days prior.
We found
As
them
you-
like this.
And they just kind of like They just kind of like turn away once they notice that you've acknowledged them going forward, and you guys are able to offload them onto the back of that cart with the other burned body, which right now is starting. I mean, it was burned, so it's not giving a terrible smell, but it's giving like an old burned meat smell, like you get when you if you cook like ground beef in your kitchen and you leave it out for too long. It's starting to get that kind of like earthy,
like
smell.
Turned smell. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, thank you, sir.
Yeah, no, nobody around here wants to eat that.
Not
You
even
sure,
you.
Maury?
Yeah, no, it's apparently not okay.
Glad we took that away from our talk at the tavern.
Okay, so should we knock on the door again?
I think it's the best course of action.
I'll go up and rap on Oliver's door.
Yep, come in.
And I'll step in.
Yep.
Excuse
and
me.
You guys enter that familiar chamber with him kind of sitting there running. He kind of looks up at you and he goes, and you have his attention.
Let's see, slightly worse for the wear, bandaged and somewhat still bloodied.
Yep.
I believe we found some more of your missing lumberjacks. They're in same condition as the last one we brought you.
Burned alive as well.
Not burned, but slain.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. He kind of like stops and kind of puts some of his stuff down, and he takes a second, and you can kind of see this like almost this look of like calm, not defeat is the word, but just kind of like
Resignation
of like what he's about to walk into here, about what he's about to look at. Yeah, and he kind of pushes himself back from the chair and gets up, and he kind of leads you all back out, turns around and locks the door once again to the office, and you lead him out back to the bodies, where he kind of examining them, he kind of looks at them really quickly and just, yeah, well, that's Scott and that's Hogar. I don't know who the fuck that is, but did these guys turn into similar individuals that are the wolf creatures you guys talked about before?
they were. The man you were unable to identify seemed to be leading them.
He kind of just takes a second and goes, well, I don't claim to know what my guys do in their own personal lives, but this doesn't seem like the individual that these guys would hang out with. I mean, yeah.
So at this point, can I, because I don't think I investigated the body of this guy earlier. I just want to kind of like, and I'll explain to Oliver, like, as I'm like kind of going through this guy's, like, you know, opening up his shirt, that kind of thing. Like, I'm not familiar with the area, so if you can help me in identifying, or is there any kind of gangs, or is there any kind of anyone who is trying to, you know, force you out of this area, you know, recently?
I mean, other than your, are you still an elk?
No, I assume it took longer, about an hour to get back. So
Yeah. So, he kind of was like, well, other than your friend over here, no one's really kind of been trying to stop us necessarily. I mean, it behooves the town to kind of keep this business going, or else we can't really provide what we need to for for the kingdom. I can't imagine a reason why anybody would want to mess with it other than, I don't know, just to cause chaos, I guess. I'm not really 100% sure what someone's motivation would be to mess with this business.
I don't think they were trying to the business. I think they were just using your men as tests.
And you may be right there.
See what they can do for further gains.
You still got that bird, by the way?
Yeah, he has a name now. It's Dale.
Ah. It was kind of weird when you always would call him Bird when you come and visit and, you know, kind of hug the trees as we were trying to cut them down.
No, he was a bird.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Dale works.
He is the kindest, most sweetest bird you will ever meet.
Yeah, he is what he is.
Well,
Right.
Don't disrespect Dale.
I wasn't. I'm just saying there's better birds in the world.
Hey, man, fuck you.
just like you just see him up there, like start pecking him in the top of the
Yeah,
head.
exactly. You just see him like kind of like, you feel like a little sensation like he's like trying to eat at your like chest hair.
All right. Well, this leaves us with one missing, and we don't know if that's Gerald or Henry at this point. But is you know of anything beyond Site 5, or were you out there at all to inspect, or were they kind of like the advanced crew?
I mean, I go out and we inspect all the different sites before we start harvesting the trees from there. But we don't, I mean, we kind of do some, like I have a few guys that kind of just do some general scouting around everywhere, just trying to find like the biggest trees, if that's what you mean. But I mean, as far as like my knowledge of the area and our men, like we all are pretty tight for the most part. I mean, I know we say we lose people all the time, but like it's the only way we can kind of like get through the day is to kind of continue to kind of support each other in any way we can.
You don't seem very upset about these deaths.
Have you ever been someone that people have looked up to? People have had to turn to kind of keep everything steady. Try to keep everybody from kind of going down a bad path.
Nope.
Well, when you've been doing this as long as I have, and unfortunately you've seen as much of this as I have had.
So men
It's kinda
getting
tough.
turned into
No,
bees?
no. We, like I said, we do lose men. It's not as often as this, but I'm the one that has to take the brunt of it and let the families know, let the workers know, let everyone know, and it never gets easy, but you learn to cope a little bit, and you learn to stay strong for those around you. Because if everyone's looking to you as their rock, and you can't be that for them, you can't lead.
It is a hard thing, and you are a hard man. Milgrim appreciates your sacrifice and the sacrifice of your men.
Can we have the address to where Hogar lives so that way he can go drop off his body?
Yeah. He hold on, and he kind of walks back around. He leads a couple of you, or all of you, depending on who wants to go with him, back into the office, and he's able to kind of, you see him kind of thumb through some files, and he's able to procure for you the addresses of both Scott and Hogar. Scott being the kind of younger gentleman who not like just kind of he's more of a newer lumberjack, relatively young, and as you guys know, he not much known about him, but then Hogar you do know is the one with the wife and kids, and he and Oliver explains that to you. Like, I don't know who I don't know where you'd bring Scott. He was just kind of a one-man guy when he came into town. I don't know if he's got any significant others or anything like that in town. He kind of stayed to himself, but Hogar's got a wife and kids if you are looking to drop the body off.
Yep. We'll drop the poor bastard off.
Okay.
What about the other guy you don't know? Where the hell he come from?
Is there a cleric about in town?
Well, there's not really a major place of worship, if that's what you mean. So if there is any clerics, there might be people who claim to be clerics, but they may not actually be clerics. Now, there are some. I can't think of any. I mean, there's some strange folk, but I don't. No one that I think is looking for the. What are you guys looking to do?
There are certain spells that can be used to preserve ones who have passed, and if we can preserve him in his current state, it would be better for identification purposes down the road.
Yeah, no, I can't say that I know of any in town. You'd have better luck closer into like Nulgrim or something like that, like a bigger kind of city, as far as that's kind of concerned.
Thank you.
I mean, you might find luck in Deer Meadow, but I doubt it. I mean, they're not much larger than we are. There might be a couple people that might be offering services, but there isn't necessarily like a holy site there, I would think.
I think we got all we need from here.
I think so. I'll hang back just a minute if everybody else is gonna leave the building.
I'll do that.
Okay, I'll look back at Red and I'll just go like, oh, all right.
I was gonna say I'll just kind of like, give like I'll be right with you kind of nod.
Okay.
And then once everybody else is left, I'm gonna ask if there's any alchemists in town.
Alchemists. Not that I can. I'm trying to think. I mean, there is. There's a blacksmith. I don't know of any alchemist that like necessarily sets up shop there. I mean, we sometimes get traders kind of traveling through, and there might have been an alchemist that's traveled through, but I don't know if there's anyone that's. I don't think there's no one that's set up shop or anything like that and has a permanent site.
And no one who comes frequently for like a town fair or anything like that. Okay.
Not that I can think of. No.
This could also be useful in our quest to preserve a body. So.
Yeah. Oh, I understand.
I'm going to take out. Let's see. I have no way of money. And I'm just gonna simply explain to him like I don't know what the average wages are, and please do not take offense if this is too little. But I'm gonna hand him 3 gold pieces, and say for your time and services.
I mean, I appreciate the generosity, but it's fine. Don't worry about it. The only thing you'd be doing would be helping me buy another drink, and I don't need that right now.
Understood. If you ever find yourself in Nulgrim, come by the keep and tell them Red sent you.
I don't leave these parts very often, but if I ever do, I'll I'll keep that in mind.
And I'll give him a slight nod and head out.
While
All right.
all this was happening, I have been talking to the bird.
Okay.
That guy was so disrespecting.
Yeah, like what the fuck was up with that?
I am generally very upset for you, and I'm petting him. I'm petting his little bird head.
Timic, do you let her take the bird and kind of pet him, or do you just like have him sitting in your beard and you're just kind of pet it like?
I assume she has a hand inside my beard right now.
Yeah, that's what I thought so too. So she's just kind of like feeling. Well, nope. Okay, I've got to do this the right way. She's just kind of like palming into your beard a little bit, kind of like.
Yeah.
So Dale just kind of continues to kind of like, yeah, that was kind of mean of him, wasn't it?
How does that make you feel?
Well, not good.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Kind of sucks.
Sucks
That
to
feels
be
good.
looked at
That feels good.
differently.
That feels good.
Right spot?
Right there.
Okay.
Yeah, right there. Right, yeah, yep. Why are you
Well,
nice to me?
Because you're cute. And I
Oh.
like cute things.
I just come around the corner and just see Juliet with her hand like shoved inside of Timic's beard,
Yeah.
and I'm just like,
and Maury's just kind of sitting over in the corner, just going, "Yep."
This is what I
That's-
expect.
This is my partner.
this is normal. Okay, this is the new normal.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Man, Timic, she's really getting to know your beard, ins and outs of it as well.
Oh.
Timmick, you
Good
have
for
a
her.
twig in your beard.
Yeah, saving it for later.
I put it back in.
That's one of my spell components.
Oh my god, that is the coolest thing ever.
So this is where you keep your spell stuff at.
Yeah.
Well, this makes sense now. That's why it feels so heavy.
I have a ton of those in there so I can do Thorn Whip.
So this is where the thorn whip happens. That's
Right
actually
from the beard.
Yeah, it's
a,
kind of freaky when he does it because he almost gets me every time.
Can you be more
No.
careful from the bird?
The bird chose to live in my beard. I didn't choose the bird to live in my beard.
I think
It's
this is
warm.
a healthy relationship.
This is right.
I'm repeating what the bird is kind of like saying to the guys.
Mm-hmm.
Dale is just like he like I can just see it like being his nest, and like every time he just reaches in and like rips out part of his nest.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens. It's like, he's like, you gonna shove any more of those back in here sometime?
Oh shit. I will explain to the party then my interactions with Oliver, and that since we hadn't discussed the alchemist, I wanted to basically probe him and see if he, kind of had any tells or if he knew about this alchemist, but he did not appear to. So
Maybe Roburn will know.
mayhaps he seems to be well informed. I don't even know where to. I guess we gotta take these 4 bodies back into town.
I think that's the right place to start.
Yeah.
I can give the body to Holgar's family. Or not.
I think we'll pass that duty along to Shirley. We can help him carry him, but he
Suit yourself.
seems to be a little bit more of a wordsmith.
I mean, I was just gonna say, your husband's dead. Here's his body.
I think a little something more highfalutin's what we need here.
Suit yourself. I'm easy.
I don't know those fancy words either, so I'm probably not the best person to get in there and say anything. You seem to do all right with it, though.
I will certainly try. This will be a test for me. Yeah. So I think I might ask Oliver one more favor, just a tarp to cover the wagon if we don't, since we just used a bedroll for the first.
Yeah, and he's able to kind of procure something for you, so you can kind of cover them up, so you can kind of conceal them as you go into town. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So you guys heading back to Timberwood?
Yes,
Yep.
indeed.
All right. As you guys begin to venture out and back into the woods where you encountered the first werewolf creature that you discovered in your journey, we're actually going to go to break because we went a little bit long, but we're going to go to break now. So with that said, we are doing that dice giveaway again tonight. So what you need to do is you got to make sure you're following the channel. You also have to then put in the special code word here in the chat, and the special code word tonight is lycanthropy. So if you put lycanthropy into the chat, you will get a chance to win some dice. So go ahead and do that, and we'll be back here after the break. So see you guys then. And welcome back, everyone. So, the winner of our dice giveaway is Big Spoon 223. So, congrats, Big Spoon. We will get in contact with you very shortly if we haven't already, and just to get some contact information and get that sent out to you right away. But we left off. You guys are kind of in your carriage now, kind of headed back towards Timberwood. So, what do you guys want to do?
The guy back there was talking to Mick about you trying to save the trees, and what is that story?
I've lived in this forest for many years, and then they started cutting it down. Wasn't just going to sit there and let that happen. I went out there and I stole their axes and, protected my home.
A lot of weird shit lives in that forest.
No, I've never encountered any of that stuff before.
Has it always been that weird?
The weirdest thing I've ever seen is mating season.
What's that like?
What's that like? Use your imagination, Juliet.
I know what mating season looks like in the Underdark, and that's something you should use your imagination for.
And it's at this point where you all see where Red gets his nickname from, because he is like bright red. Like he's just like whipping the carriage like, yep, we gotta get to town now.
Is this conversation making you uncomfortable, Red?
Yeah, I think I need a drink. And like he's gonna hand the reins to Timmick and just take his water bottle out. Like,
I can absolutely use a drink. It's been far too long. I'm far too sober.
No, I can't help you there.
Should have bought an extra bottle of that stuff.
We just have to plan better the next time we head out. Kind of hard to buy it though with nothing in my pockets.
Well, we're helping the town.
Yeah, I'm all
doing
for
our
this.
due diligence.
I do enjoy some of this charity work, just like we did for old Jeb there. But I'm thinking eventually I got to do a little better than a night's sleep.
I think we could manage something. There was that thing on the billboard about 50 gold.
What job was that?
I don't remember what it was, but it seemed...
One of people getting attacked on the roads?
Maury, was that what it was? I don't remember. I was quite drunk.
Yeah, I can't remember. I stopped reading after 50 gold.
I'm starting to think maybe we should have took that instead of the cobalt.
Did you get a reward for those kobolds?
A night stay in the hotel. That's about it.
That's all we got for killing rats.
Yeah.
Come to think of it, I don't. Yeah, I tend to forget it's more than a reputation out here. And I'm gonna kind of look at my own coin purse, just offhandedly.
What's your story here, Red? I assume you're some sort of musical, magical man.
I am classically trained. Yes. I hail from Nulgrim. So I'm what you might call city folk. This is my first time really seeing the sights, and I've not been, disappointed, to put it lightly.
but I still have much to learn. It is clear.
Seems like we all got a lot to learn, don't we?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like how to negotiate a contract.
Definitely that one.
Yes. Maybe
How to
that's
love my
something
bird.
Yes. He's a very kind bird.
No, you can have him. I'll find a new one if you want.
Jeez.
She doesn't even have a beard. Where the heck's he gonna live?
And I don't want to grow a beard either. He seems happy in your beard.
No, I guess he can stay then. I didn't tell him to leave. Said if you think he has a better place to go, he can go.
What does Dale say to that?
So you say, like, what do you think about that, Dale? And he saying that you hear and go, well, he does always keep putting sticks in here, so I don't have to go look for him anymore. And there's usually some stuff that's like crawling around here that I can eat, so I really don't have to go anywhere else for that either. So it's kind of the perfect gig, really. I mean, I don't have to go anywhere, and everything's pretty much taken care of.
So one-stop shop, huh?
Yeah, it's basically the Walmart of beards.
What are you gonna do, Dale, if I get a cat to live in my beard?
Well, first I would have to say that your cat's either really small or your beard's really big. Well, I guess I'd have to find another beard. I don't know.
Now I need to get enlarge reduce specifically so I can enlarge his beard.
Please.
Just the beard, nothing else, just the beard.
Maura, we've been traveling for a little bit, but yet I don't really know anything about you.
There's not much to know. I mean, we all have a little bit of a past, but nothing out of the ordinary, I'd say.
Have any of you made it up to Nulgrim?
I can't
Never
say
heard.
that I have.
Well, I would very much like to show you around sometime if we should make it that far.
Like a small fishing village?
A little bit larger than that.
Is it as big as this city we're in now?
This place is pretty big.
And I'm kind of gonna... I'm sorry, did you say city?
Yeah, this Timberwood here.
That is what is known as a hamlet, where I'm from, which is to say a small settlement.
Similar to the hamlet that I grew up in. Very small, close-knit.
I can appreciate that. I can see what makes it charming.
Yeah, I spent most of my time in the woods. Not as
Me too.
talented at it as our friend Timmick here, but didn't have much choice. At a young age, kind of just got sent out on my own way and just didn't see the need to find myself in large cities.
If we had met earlier, we could have stopped these lumberjacks dead in their tracks.
I think so. If I'd found my way this way a little bit sooner, I think we could have done some pretty good.
You know how many small critters that died because of these trees being chopped down? Counted.
I don't even really know what they're doing. Why do they even need the trees?
Timber. Wood, I guess. Build more houses to make the city bigger. The city's always expanding.
Can't you do that with mud and rocks?
I was happy in my little mud and rock hut in the woods. except for every time it rained. It got washed
Yep.
away.
Oh,
And therein lies the issue. With timber and stones, you can make structures that will last not just for your lifetime, but your children's lifetime. And you can
Boy,
improve
howdy.
the way of lives of not just yourself, but many.
But they're killing squirrels and chipmunks every time they cut down a tree.
he's
That
got a
is
point.
an unfortunate side effect, yes.
That's where
But-
Dale comes from. His tree that his nest was in was cut down, and he flew into my beard by accident. He just stayed.
Oh.
Mayhaps at some point we'll be able to negotiate, or I'm not sure of the word I'm looking for here, but build a grove where we can harvest the lumber and not injure our woodland friends.
I mean, I do have to say I don't really like the fact that they're cutting it down, but on the other hand, I never seen a chipmunk pay anything with gold, so it puts me in a weird space, you know?
The chipmunks are cute.
Yeah. I'm cuter with money, I think, but
Chipmunks are good for getting the scratches on your back that you can't reach.
I got a lot of those too. I'm not as
Would be a neat trick.
flexible as I used to be.
Just get a chipmunk to climb up your back. With the nice little claws, it feels real nice.
Do you have a chipmunk in your beard that
No.
we can try this out?
No. Chip?
Ah.
Chip and Dale?
Well, that worked out pretty perfect right there, didn't it? Episode later, we walked right into that one.
Now we'll find out.
Sounds like
No, let's try to find one. Give it a home. Dale, would you like a chipmunk companion?
Well, as long as he doesn't take up too much room in here, probably wouldn't be too bad.
He can scratch your back if you need him to.
I think he'd annihilate my back, but thanks for the offer.
I love him so much. You know, Maury, on just a side note, real quick. Back there, when you thought we pretty much almost lost you if it wasn't for Timmick here, I was actually kind of worried.
Well, I appreciate that, darling. I didn't mean to scare you any, but it wouldn't have been the first time I've gone down. I'm sure it won't be the last. It's kind of part and parcel with the territory, you know. It's I don't mean to make you nervous in any way when that happens, but just know if it's my time, I guess it's my time.
You didn't make me nervous. I have a sword that drinks blood. After that, nothing makes me nervous.
Well, hey, if I ever go down and he's thirsty, he's welcome to mine.
No, I'd rather not feed that monster.
All right, well, if he gets a hankering for it, you know where I'm at.
Nah, I think I could find some sort of werewolf lumberjack.
Well, apparently there's plenty of those around too.
More on, I think maybe you may be a little too giving. Definitely a thing to work on there. Blood is hard to come by.
Well, I mean, if I'm not needing it anymore, might as well, right? Kind of the same way I felt about that gentleman, you know? I mean, hey, his body's not being used anymore. Somebody might as well enjoy it.
You're not supposed to eat people.
Well,
You've been over this.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that now. Just thought you'd hate to really waste it.
How about we make a deal? How about if we can't find Scott's family or anything, you can eat Scott.
Oh well, he's spoilt now, so it ain't gonna do me no good. But I'm just saying, this is sometimes when life passes you by, you just hope somebody else can enjoy what remains.
So when life gives you bodies, just eat them.
Or if life goes away, somebody else can use your blood, I guess.
When in doubt, someone dies, just eat them.
Not everybody.
Rain out.
I mean,
we'll have to workshop this.
Yeah, I think we can. I don't know. Maybe I can get you guys on board someday, but
I've heard a few tales about my grandfather's campaigns that I'm not sure my mother would approve if I knew them. But people do things in survival situations, and I think that's what Morharon's getting at, is that, you know, if you can help someone else when you're beyond help, that he's all right with that from a moral standpoint.
You know, Red, I think you're a lot better with the words. So I think, at least from my standpoint, you can do some of the talking.
I think you can do all the talking.
I think you summed it up pretty well right there.
I'll raise my water skin.
Me and the words, we're not so great. Where I come from, you just say what you mean, and that's it.
Practice talking to actual people. And animals aren't the smartest, but they get the job done when you're lonely.
I just...
Especially birds.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry. I lose character every time. He just starts trash talking his pet bird. Oh, God. Oh, all right. Tamp it down. All right.
Are we going to talk about mating anymore?
Yes. Yes, we should discuss what our game plan is here. We want to talk to Roburn, correct?
We should probably divvy out these bodies first. We don't want them to rot in the back of this cart.
I think we take care of Scott and Hogar first, and then maybe stop by, see Roburn, and who knows, maybe this tall fella went through the tavern at some point looking for some work, and might not have a name, but maybe where he came from.
Perfect opportunity to weaken at Bernie's him inside there. Have you seen this guy before?
Maybe.
Just throw some sunglasses on. They won't even know he's dead.
I mean, he has
Never
a good
tell the
point.
difference.
Does anybody have a spell that can maybe animate somebody?
You know what I do have, actually? I'm not sure. I feel like I have to decide what, like, my... I have to decide what my spell book looks like. I don't play casters much, so I gotta think about that. But I do have mending and prestidigitation, so we can kind of clean them up, so to speak.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Yeah, I think so. Would mending work on the burnt body? Like just to like.
Mending is for like machines.
Mending, by definition, only really repairs like broken pieces or tears in objects, not like it wouldn't remove
so like
burning from something.
Okay, so like if they were like cut open, it might, But
even then, it's more like for like inanimate objects, like a broken link in a chain or two halves of a broken lock. I'm actually just reading it right now.
Okay.
or a leaky wineskin. It's not really for flesh, I guess the best way to put it. You, on the side note, you can repair a construct with it.
There we go.
Yeah, so that's cool. As far as prestidigitation is concerned, like you can clean up or like clean some soil, but removing third degree burns is probably not gonna.
Oh yeah, no, I meant that more like to basically get rid of the dirt and stench, like kind of work on them before we.
Yeah, you can do that.
Deliver them.
That would be fine. Yeah, but as far as like making the burnt body a little bit more visually appealing, presentable, you're probably not gonna have any luck.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, it was like I was gonna say I'll. Yeah, like kind of just like maybe like kind of like I get the idea too for like Red, like he kind of has like a throaty hum, like a like not throat singing, but something akin to that, just like like when he's casting like cantrips, like I think it's like a very low, quiet thing, and then like he plays the kind of the drum with it or whatever if it requires the somatic.
Yeah.
So you'd see him like kind of doing that, like as we're riding, he'd hand the reins over again and kind of like lean back, do that.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
But then once they're kind of cleaned up, I guess I'd ask. Did we get directions to like each person's house so that we can properly, we're not like knocking on somebody's door like, hey, is this yours?
Yeah, no, you did get addresses from Oliver before you left. Yep.
Okay, awesome. Yeah.
House number 1, house number 2. There's not really a whole lot of streets, so it's basically like, they're all kind of and you remember this the last time you were in town. They're all kind of just like marked with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's not really a whole lot here.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So I guess Hogar would be first then, since he's the one with the family.
Okay.
Just hand his body over to his kids.
Yeah. So when we pull up, like, do we see anybody or like what's going on here?
Yeah, no. So as you arrive in the town of Timberwood, everything seems to be going business as usual. You see some other lumberjack folk as they're kind of lugging in a bunch of their shipments from the site. As well as you guys kind of arrive, you actually see that there's a caravan not far back behind you that's also bringing some in. You also see just a number of people just kind of milling about. I mean, it's still relatively quiet, but like it's just normal day as usual here in Timberwood. As you approach Hogar's house, you see kind of playing in like the like in front of the house, you see a small little dwarf boy and girl kind of that you Timic and Red both recognize as the little boy and the girl that were actually playing with the hoop and the stick from when you from 0.5 session. So you see them kind of like knocking around a hoop kind of in the front, kind of, I wouldn't say it's a yard, but just in the kind of the front area in front of the house.
That's my boy playing at that hoop again.
Oh, hey, I remember you. Oh yeah, and then there's her. And you, Maury and Juliet, also recognize these little kids as the same kids you ran into on your way out of the tavern the other night too, as well.
You know these troublemakers?
Did you hoop with them?
No, I don't hoop.
I don't know what a hoop is.
Watch, I'll show you. And like you can see him like kind of like he's hitting the top of the hoop with a stick and kind of like running around in circles and stuff like that. The little girl is kind of like she has like a little ball that she's kind of like trying to like throw through it as he's kind of running around, and they're kind of chasing each other and stuff like that. They're having fun.
So I'm gonna kind of turn to Timmick and be like, Timmick, why don't you see if did we get their names? I don't.
Dwarf boy, and dwarf girl.
See if these two can get that hoop all the way to the tavern and like kind of give them like the eyes like away from the wagon.
I'll try. Hey, dwarf boy.
Oh, it's Jaeger.
Hey, Jaeger.
Yeah?
Yeah. Can you hit that hoop down the road?
I mean, I can hit it down the road.
How far?
In one shot? I don't know, like over there.
I'll give you 30 shots.
Oh, I can get it all the way down to the end of the road.
Do it.
All right. You ready, Ruth? Okay. And they both like kind of just like on either side, like Ruth goes and picks up a stick and they both start hit as they're kind of running. They're hooping. Do you follow them?
I'll follow. Shirley, go. Your chance now. Go. I'll follow dwarf boy and dwarf girl down the street.
Oh
Jaeger
my God. I'm literally going to cry. Thank you very much. Oh, son of a gun. Yeah, so I'll like fix my jacket and kind of straighten up, clean myself up with prestidigitation, and knock on the door.
You hear the rustle from inside, and you the door opens, and in front of you you see a dwarf woman. She's shorter than you. She's probably about like 5'4", relatively tall by dwarf standards, but still relatively short. She's got like brown hair that's kind of tied into a knot, and she's wearing kind of just some general common clothes with like almost like a work dress and apron that seems to be very common for this area. And she goes, "Yeah, can I help you?"
Excuse me. Are you Mrs. Hogar?
Yeah, Gertrude, yeah.
Gertrude. My name is Shirley Went. I come bearing grave news.
Okay,
Mate.
Oh, out with it, boy.
Would we be imposing if we stepped inside?
Yeah, probably a little bit. I don't know who the fuck you are.
My apologies, ma'am. We come from the lumberyard. Your husband was lost.
When you say the lumberyard, even before you even say the rest, you can actually kind of just see her like face begin to kind of droop, and as she kind of knows what you're about to say. Can't say I didn't think this was probably the case.
My deepest condolences.
Do you know what did him in?
Yeah.
I will ask you truthfully. If you want the truth or something easier to bear.
Tell me the truth, boy.
I will tell you it was us. He had become some sort of beast. We were attacked. we slew the beasts, and when they fell, they returned to their human forms.
She just kind of pauses and kind of like looks introspectively for a second, just kind of absorbing what you just said. Well, then I guess he's been gone for a while then. Or just not him anyway. Thank you, lad.
You're welcome. And I'll kind of motion for Morharan to, like, and I'll go back to, would you like us to bring him inside or take him somewhere else?
Yeah, let's go inside. And she kind of, as you guys kind of begin to offload him, she kind of directs you, and she kind of walks you back to a bedroom in the kind of rear of the house. Inside the kind of kitchen area, you see just kind of a big mess of just like different like smells and pots and pans and toys and all kinds of other different like she's a mom for sure, and you just see kind of a like it's kind of a controlled chaos situation here, and she kind of continues to lead you in the back into kind of a smaller separate room with a smaller bed, what you probably assume to be a guest room of some sort in this house, or some form of whatever that could be. And she kind of directs you to kind of place him there as you bring him back. As she kind of, at this point, as she kind of brings you in, she's not crying, but just kind of like lightly sobbing. She's trying to hold it together as best she can, but it's hard given kind of the news you just broke to her. So you can put him there.
If I do not know if either the people of Timberwood here have their own customs, or from wherever you hail from, but I personally would be more than willing to assist in any kind of rites or funerary services you may require.
I appreciate that, lad, but it's all right. We'll be bringing him back to the hilltop this weekend. That's where well, that's where we kind of both him and I came from. It's not far, but we had moved here hoping for a better I'm sorry. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Um,
If you need
all right. Well, we best I best have you off then. I've gotta make dinner for the kids. Thank you. I'm glad to know that. I'm glad to know what happened.
Indeed. Can I make an insight check to know if like putting like coins on his eyes would be like unacceptable for like dwarves, or if that's like a human thing, or if that's like a
I mean, you don't even need to roll for that. You know, in general, that's more of a general custom from where you're from, and not necessarily like a normal funeral rite that happens everywhere.
okay.
You know, that's just something that's been that's practiced in your family and kind of the close knit nature of your family line. But generally speaking, it's not something that's necessarily performed for most folks. No.
Okay, and as long as I know that, then I won't do it because I don't want to. If they're not from Nulgrim, then I wouldn't interrupt in their rights.
Correct.
So, and then I'll kind of like, see everybody out and close the door.
So before he closes the door, I'm going to be like, oh, crap. I left an axe in there when I put him down. I'll be right back. And I'll just run back in real quick. And I'll kind of push the door closed behind me. And knowing that I'm like twice this lady's height, I'm going to drop to a knee in front of her. And I'm going to say, listen, it doesn't get any easier. You're going to struggle with this the rest of your life. I know because I've been there. But what you've got going for you is you still have somebody. You got people that rely on you. You got people that need you. So you go ahead, you take your time, you mourn, and you be sad. But you get strong and you be here for these kids because you're lucky enough to still have them.
It's the only thing that kept me going while he was gone. I appreciate it. Thank you. But yes. Well, off you go.
And I'll just stand up at you.
Yeah. And she kind of turns around, and you see her kind of like begin to like clutch at a like kind of like a couple of sack of potatoes from underneath a counter, and she just starts to tries to cope.
And I'll just walk out the door with I found it right here. Slide it in the mouth.
Do you think we can wait on the other bodies? I mean, it's not like they're going anywhere today, or tomorrow.
Their skin might start going somewhere.
I mean, if you want to wait until tomorrow to take Scott back, I'm all right with that. But I definitely think we should at least Coburn might know who this tall fella is. I think that's somewhere we should get before he starts getting along too bad.
Yeah, we'll need to talk to Roburn anyway because we don't want to upset Henry's family if this is indeed not him. And Gerald, check here. I'm gonna like flip open my like kind of notepad, like trying to hold back some tears.
After that situation, I really could use a bottle or two.
Well, I think we can kill 3 birds with 1 stone then, because Roburn's going to hopefully have an answer, a direction, and plenty of booze.
Then off we go.
Let us went.
Timmy comes running back down the street, panting after playing hoop with these kids for minutes.
Minutes.
Oh man.
Oh jeez.
It really hooped me.
I'm surprised they didn't yank that bird right out of your beard.
Yeah, I would have let him.
Hoop,
Think
line,
weighs me
and
down.
sinker.
Well done, Timmy. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Of
Made
course.
that difficult situation much easier.
Of course.
Yeah, and I think we'll head on over to the Full Bear Pub.
All right. And you guys do head over there. You see that very similar kind of large, kind of heavy, ornate door, and you guys kind of push in. Fairly crowded again tonight, or this afternoon. It's kind of always crowded, it seems like, which you guys are kind of used to by now. As you guys kind of enter into the bar. You do hear the sounds of a couple of different minstrels kind of playing in the corner, a little ditty, as like everyone's kind of frequenting back and forth the bar. You see Roburn kind of walking back and forth. Plenty of ladies sitting up there trying to get his attention as usual, but he kind of sees you all walk in. He kind of like, hey. And on the back wall there is that wall, although it's right now it's still pretty barren. There's not a whole lot of notes up there that you can see from here, although maybe with closer inspection you might be able to find them. But other than that, you kind of just see you are in a fairly crowded Full Bear's pub.
Wine.
Oh yes, yeah. Just 1 second, and you see him kind of like, what kind?
The strongest one you have.
Oh, the summer home then. And you see him kind of reach up for a fairly dark-looking bottle of some sort of red wine that he refers to as the summer home.
No need for a glass.
All right. It's just a silver piece.
And I was gonna say, if I'll be like around for 3 of us, as much as this will cover, and I hand him a gold.
Oh, this will cover plenty. What are you all looking for? What would you like? You beer, whiskey guy, mead?
I'm over standing at the wall looking at the notes.
Okay. He's just talking to you, Mr. Shirley Went.
I'll take a mead and one for the Dragonborn as well.
All right, and you, Mr. Timmick, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. What would you like?
I'll have a meat also.
All right, cool. And you see him. He kind of goes in the back. He kind of turns around, grabs 3 mugs, and kind of pours 3 fairly large goblets of mead, and just kind of throws them there on the table from you. He actually grabs the gold piece. So he goes, "You're good for the night. Whenever you need them."
Do you have any water?
Yeah. And he kind of just reaches down, grabs a glass, and just he almost kind of like sloshes it up from like a bucket, and just
That's
like, and just like places it in front of you.
I take it and dump it in my beard.
Okay.
Stay a little thirsty.
You hear from his beard, "You fucker!" And you just see Roper kind of just like one eyebrow, like, "All right."
There's just like a flutter and
Yeah,
He has
exactly.
a bird in his beard. Just ignore it.
All right, fine, whatever.
Just like guzzling that bottle.
Yeah, and he just kind of just like looks at you like, I would slow down maybe a little bit there, Julie. All right.
What was the name of that vintage again?
The summer home.
Summer home.
I don't know why they call it that. I mean, maybe just because it's pretty rough, but it's not made there. It's actually made down in town down south. It's that's why it's kind of expensive, but it's worth it. They actually comes from Spring Barrow. Yep. Yep. You better watch her. For the rest of the day. For the rest of the night. Maybe even tomorrow morning.
Indeed. Thank you for the warning.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I'll take a heavy drag off of my mead.
It's actually really sweet. Given mead's kind of more of a honey fruity kind of drink. Anyway, so it's a very kind of very thick sweet taste. But it's pretty good. And it's pretty strong too. Seems like everything here is pretty strong. Based on your experience so far.
That's good. Strong drink for strong companions.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I trade
Wilburn.
the rest of it, and then I'm deciding. Okay.
Wilburn, you have a minute to come outside?
Do you see what's going on in here?
Yeah, but you're the only guy that we know that could possibly have any answers for a question.
Yeah, sure. Hey, Clark, I'm going out back. And you just hear from the back, just somebody go, okay. All right, we gotta make it quick though. Clark's pretty shitty at making shit. He breaks half the stuff that's in here every time I let him work here for more than 5 minutes.
Just one question. Follow me.
Yep, sure.
Be outside.
Yep. So yeah, he follows you outside. Is it just you, or is it everyone else?
Whoever
I'm
wants to
keeping an
follow.
eye at the bar.
Okay.
I'm still
right.
at the wall.
Yep.
I'll go outside then.
And we'll get to that too.
Yeah.
All right. What's going on? What do you guys need?
Do you know this guy? And I take the tarp off the.
Jesus Christ. Looks familiar.
Oliver at the logging camp has never seen him, and we found him up in one of his sites.
Huh. I mean, I feel like he fits the description of some of them people that were harassing people up on the road. I think.
And
I guess. I don't know. Like, I mean, I remember this. I think this guy's also stopped in once, but come to think about it, not long after that, people started talking about how there was somebody fitting his description bothering them on the road. Him and another guy, kind of tall too.
does that have to do with the posting up on the board?
Yeah, I mean, it would. It's gone. It would have something to do with that. Looks like somebody did a good job, but didn't take claim for it.
We only saw this one guy. We didn't see the other one.
Oh. Well, I can't imagine he's that far from where you guys found him.
Well, we were
Probably.
pretty deep in the woods.
It's weird. Yeah, no,
No.
Sorry, go ahead.
Have you ever heard of somebody called the Alchemist?
I've heard the name thrown around, but not from the most reliable of sources. There's this guy in town. Not the it's not the sharpest tack, if that makes sense. He's been spouting these claims of somebody sneaking around here, and it said here him talking about some alchemist. That's the only thing I can remember. But like I said, it's from his name's Jordan. He's I mean, don't get me wrong, he means well, but he also makes up crazy stories that are never true. So, I mean, that's all I got for it. It's something, but I don't know if it's that great. I wish I could give you something better.
You guys will have to go talk to Jordan.
More of a lead than we had before.
Yep. Thank you, Roburn.
You're welcome. Like I said, watch her. People get pretty fucked up on that stuff.
Noted.
Yeah.
And I think she was already polishing the whole thing off, so she's probably pretty useless right now.
Yeah, she's pretty useless back in the woods, too.
Timmick matters. And yeah.
Yep, back in.
All right, you guys head back in. You all see now Juliet is just kind of sitting out by the bar with the other ladies, actually, ironically, and just is kind of just, she's all out of it. But
I make a Constitution saving throw?
I mean, I would have you make one if the DC wasn't so high. No, it's not necessary. But we'll put a pause on that, and Moharan, you head on over to the job board. Go ahead and just give me a general perception check for it. Just to kind of discern what seems more... oh, natural 20. Okay, great. So you see all of that. You do see that the last place where you left the... where you remember... And you actually... This is also good for recalling. You remember the last place you saw the bandit one being in a certain position, but it's not there anymore. In fact, it's been ripped off. There's also another piece that looks like it's been ripped a couple of times and put back up, and that it ripped off like there's a couple of like really janky looking pieces. There are some general jobs about just like kind of helping out on a couple farms, helping out with some cleanup back at over at Old Jet. What's his name?
Old Jib?
Yeah, Old Jeb's place. You see Sylvia's got another job about rats again. So there's that. But a lot of it's just kind of like general tasks again. So there's nothing really catches your eye as far as like, and there's not any jobs that are rewarding gold this time. In fact, they're all just kind of tasks for stays. And they all kind of depict that on the bottom as like four room and board. Or lodging. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Good to know.
You do see a couple of other individuals kind of like hanging out around the general vicinity of this job board too, but like they just kind of look like general adventuring types. No one like very descriptive or unique. No one's kind of nothing anything specific basically.
All right.
And you, turning around, you also see Juliet is just plastered. She is, like I said, she's at this point, she's actually like hanging out with a couple of other ladies that were at the bar, and they see Roburn come in, and they all kind of like start giggling and kind of point his way. And yeah, I figured you didn't. He kind of like goes and hangs out by them, and just kind of starts engaging them in some general conversation.
I do engage in conversation drunkenly,
Okay.
but I'm not anything like the other girls.
Yeah, not good at it right now. I mean, you are.
No, I'm generally not interested.
Well, yeah, there's that too.
She's like, you should have seen the size of that hook whore. And people are like, what even is that?
What even is that?
And then there was a purple worm, and I seen it, and I took it out with one swift hit.
That's what she said. Am I right, ladies?
Oh.
Anyway.
This stuff is good. I'd like that many more.
I think you probably have had enough. You want to live tonight, right?
And that many more.
Give him a persuasion check at disadvantage.
Okay.
You can try. This one you can try on. Oh, jeez.
Oh, sorry.
many dice.
I clicked it.
Well, it doesn't matter. The lowest value on that is a 5. So he's just like, sorry, dear, I must insist.
You're no fun.
He just kind of looks at the other girls, and they all just kind of start giggling, and he's just like, okay. And kind of leaves you alone.
Maury, come over here. This is so good.
What is it?
So good. It's good. It's wine. Is good wine.
Well, I can't try it because the bottle's empty.
But you can get another bottle, and you could try it, and then you're gonna give me the rest of it.
All right. Hey, Rover, I want to try some of that wine too.
All right. You want a glass?
She had a bottle. I'll have a bottle.
Oh God.
You sure?
Yeah. Look at me. I'm a big fella. I can handle it. I think you said the tab was covered anyway.
It is.
Yeah, I can handle it.
Give him a deception check.
Well, he could do
More just for the intention of what you're gonna do, just to see if you're good at it. All right, yeah, 14's okay. So he's just like, all right. He pulls one down. He pulls one down, goes, and uncorks it for you and hands it over. He goes, don't drink the whole thing, man. Like, this is, like, share it with the other, not her.
Oh,
share with the other two. But
with the other two guys. Gotcha.
yeah, just if you want her to live tonight, like,
you don't go over. Hey, I don't want to distract you from those ladies. You go right ahead, and I'll tip it up and take just a quick sip.
And you do, and it's heavy. It's like the thickest, kind of earthiest, like red wine you've ever had in your entire life. And you can tell that, like, a little too much of this, probably not going to be a fun end of your night, for sure.
I'm like doing this with the bottle, like a child.
You see Robo.
It's just grabby hands.
I'm gonna sit it down on the countertop there, and I'm just gonna walk over, like back over to the wall over near Rover, and start talking to him.
Okay.
When do they get more jobs in here?
I take the bottle.
Give me a sleight of hand check at. Can I give it double disadvantage? No, I'm just kidding. Just a disadvantage because that's the only thing you can actually do.
Can I see what's going on? Because, like,
I mean, you're there. You can see what's going on. You're in the general vicinity. Yeah.
I'm just gonna like walk over and like stick my finger in the top of the bottle and like hold it to the bar.
Okay. Okay, so let's see. You make your sleight of hand check, Julie, at a disadvantage, and Red, I'll have you make a strength, an athletics check at advantage.
No, that's not good.
So an 18 on the slide, a 16 on the sleight hand, not bad, but a 24 on the athletics. So you see, so Red, you're able to kind of just pin that thing down. And Roburn takes a second and looks, he's in general conversation with you more, and then he kind of looks over and goes, hey, come on. Like,
Yeah,
told you.
and I'll take it.
Hey, my bottle. What are you doing over there, woman?
And I'll take it and roll a piece of cloth or something up and kind of like cork it, so to speak, and walk back to the table and like,
Give me a pouty face.
Moharan, I got you one of their fine meads over here. You should have a taste.
Thank you very much. I'll try that. I'm glad you caught her trying to take that alcohol. I don't think she could have had any more of that.
You could have so much more of it.
I agree. That would have been unwise as I like eyeball Juliet.
But no.
Well, I'll drink the mead.
The wine.
Yeah, I'm like cradling that like football style, like
You kind of see her edge. How tall are you?
6'2", I would say.
Okay, so I'm like, I'm glad like just doing this.
You're literally just the big guy at the basketball court, just holding the ball up here, like
Yeah,
nope,
just like
no.
Yep.
One hand
no.
out, like no.
Yep. Yeah. So
I love our chaos party. It's amazing.
beauty. Under normal circumstances, I would give this band a run for their money, but I'm not, after the events of today, in the mood for frolicking. Although these fine drinks do take the edge off.
I killed a guy.
Three
Three guys. I don't really know if they were guys, but you killed them.
And I could talk to birds. It's amazing.
That's a good skill to have.
Juliet, you and Timic both here. Is she okay?
No, she's not.
Do we need to get her should we do something?
We'll bring her to bed soon.
Yeah. I think it's about that time.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go over to Rober and be like, you wouldn't happen to have a door that locks from the outside, would you? Or a room with a door that locks from the outside?
No. We're not that kind of a place.
Excuse me.
What kind of place has rooms locked from the outside?
A jail. Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought she was talking about some sort of weird sex place. That would be weird.
That would be so weird.
I
As red turns red again.
Good
think
save.
we're fixing to get you to bed now. Come on.
But wine.
And Roburn gives you keys to the same rooms that you had previous nights. So he gives you two keys, two sets of keys, one for each room. You guys actually, ironically, were staying next to each other in this particular pub and inn kind of set, which is actually kind of funny. But you guys are able to kind of go upstairs as the night's kind of starting to wind down, and you are able to find a night's rest up there. What'd you want to say?
I just want to turn to Maury, as we're getting ready to go upstairs. Maury, I Maybe I should have drank the whole bottle, but I can't feel my legs. Can you? Can you? If you feel
I
anybody
just
this,
grab her and scoop her up,
Okay.
Nice.
like over my shoulder. Fireman's. Come on.
Thanks. If you tell anybody this, I'll kill you.
I
And I
believe it.
And you do pass out, and yeah, you're able to kind of carry her up the stairs. And is there anything else any of y'all are doing before you go to bed?
I'm putting a bucket beside the bed.
Good call. I might just tell Roburn real quick, like if anyone in like an aside, like if anyone matching the alchemist description or even that other bandit
Okay.
like comes in while we're sleeping to send like Clark or something to wake one of us at least.
And he nods. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'll send him up there if they end up coming in. Just well, it's pretty easy. We have a couple of other doors that we can kind of use to not have to make it obvious. So, but yeah, no, definitely,
Much appreciated.
no problem.
Yeah, and then I'll pack it in.
All right. As you guys go ahead and find your evening's rest, you're able to again, like I said, you kind of have these nice small homey little rooms. You can either pair off or however you want your sleeping arrangements to be, but you guys do all find a night's rest. Maury,
I don't.
as sleep takes you and you drift off into sleep, you dream, but it's vivid. You feel the scent of something. It's strange. You also feel like you're much lower to the ground than normal. And you feel yourself kind of almost walking on all fours. It's a very strange feeling. You catch the scent of this thing again. You follow it, eventually finding a small little chipmunk out in the woods. You don't know what it is, but for whatever reason, you feel just this urge, this inner urge to attack this squirrel. You go, and you do attack it. You rip it apart. You rip it into shreds. The blood and this little sinew of this little chipmunk being ripped apart. You get the taste of the blood on your lips. And it feels great. It's the best thing you've ever tasted. Better than any wine, better than any beer or any mead you've ever had in your entire life. You need more. You must have more. And then your vision starts to fade. And that's where we're going to leave it tonight. So you said you wanted to say something there, Red, before everyone else went to bed, but what was that going to be?
I was just gonna say I don't think Red has probably had to deal with like that kind of like loss or whatever. So I don't think he would probably sleep very well. I think he'd probably stay up pretty late, like cleaning his weapons and his armor and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like he might not even actually sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of, yeah, he's probably lost people, but like, never that close. To it.
Yeah, and that's completely understandable. You are able to eventually, like even with the sense of that loss and stuff like that, you do eventually the exhaustion from the day and the travel does find you falling asleep, but it takes a while. But yeah, no, we'll pick up where we left off, starting next week at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you guys want to check out this whole session in its entirety, make sure you check out the VODs. They'll go up on YouTube on Sunday. And you can, if you follow, subscribe, whatever, to this Twitch channel, you can actually have access to them right away. You don't have to wait for that if you don't want to. Links for all the stuff and the things are all up there if you guys need to check that out. Are you sure you want to do that? It's not following? That's awesome. They're awesome. But yeah, guys, no, this is fun. I'm excited for what is to come for this group of plucky adventurers. So. I hope everyone's
excited for the next morning. That's for sure.
Oh yeah. I hope everyone's is staying safe, especially during these kind of weird, uncertain times. I know it's kind of crazy right now, but don't forget to check in with your loved ones and let you know that they love them. And we'll see you next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.
See y'all later.
Yeah.